Hi everyone! For this sequence, all you need is a yoga block and a yoga strap. We'll be starting in a seated position, so take your time and meet me in a comfortable seated position. You may place a block under the sitting bones if you're tight in the hips, because this will get your knees a little lower than your hips and add a bit more comfort in the seated position. Take a moment to relax your shoulders and allow your hands to land wherever they rest comfortably. Begin to lower your gaze or gently close your eyes and simply start to notice the natural flow of your breath. When you're ready, place one hand over the belly, the other hand over your chest, and start to deepen your breath a little bit, following the journey of your breath as you inhale down into the belly, continuing your inhalation into the ribs and the chest. And as you exhale, allow the chest to drop first, drawing the ribs in together, and then emptying out the belly completely. Every inhalation, inflate the belly like a balloon. Feel the ribs draw apart and fill up the chest. And as you exhale, allow the chest to drop, ribs come back in together, and the belly deflates. Slowly come back to your natural breath and relax your arms. Let us now come into a tabletop position with our wrists under the shoulders and the knees under the hip points. We'll inhale to soften the belly, lift the tailbone, and open up through the chest. And as we exhale, we'll think of drawing the belly button in towards the spine as we round the back and tuck the tailbone. Every inhalation, think of lengthening the spine and the neck, opening through the chest. And every exhalation, think of creating space between your shoulder blades as you lift the heart up towards the sky and draw the belly button in towards your spine. Inhale to open the front of the body and draw the shoulder blades down towards the base of the spine. Every exhalation, feel that nice stretch in the back as you push away from the ground. After practicing a few rounds of this, let us meet in a supine position, lying down on our back. Take a moment to relax your whole body. And when you're ready, pull the right knee in towards your chest, interlacing your fingers over the shin. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, drawing the belly button in, ribs in, lift the head and shoulders. Inhale to relax the head and shoulders onto your mat. And as you exhale, activate your abdominals, lift the head, drawing the knee in towards the chest. Inhale to relax. Exhale, ribs in, belly button in, lift the head and shoulders, chin towards your knee. Inhale, relax, and switch over to the other side. Left knee in towards the chest. Inhale. And exhale, pull the knee in towards the chest and draw the chin towards your knee. Inhale, relax. And exhale, make sure your ribs are drawn in, the belly button is drawing in towards the spine as you lift the head and shoulders. Inhale, relax. And exhale, activating the deeper abdominals, lift the head and shoulders. Inhale, relax, and extend that leg. Let's do this with both legs together. Bending both knees, interlace your fingers over the shins. Inhale with your head and shoulders down on the mat. And as you exhale, pull the legs in a little closer to your chest as you lift your head and shoulders. Inhale, relax. Exhale, belly button in, ribs in, lift the head and shoulders. Inhale, relax. Exhale, activate your abdominals. Pull the knees in towards the chest and lift the head. Inhale, relax. Next, we will practice some back extensions. So take your time and meet me on your belly. We're going to bring our hands right under the shoulders. The legs will be nice and engaged. Tops of the feet pressing down into the mat. On the inhalation, we'll lift the chest up and away from the ground, keeping our elbows close to the body. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, activating the back muscles, making sure the neck stays in alignment with the spine. Every exhalation, relax your chest and head down. And inhale to lengthen the spine, activate the back muscles, making sure your legs are active the whole time. Exhale to relax everything down. And from here, we'll come into supported cobra or sphinx pose with our elbows right under the shoulders, forearms parallel, and palms pressing down on the mat. Keeping the legs slightly wider this time, about hip width apart, we're going to think of pressing our palms down and drawing the mat or the carpet towards our hips. This will allow our heart to shine forward and open up through the collarbones and the chest. Take a couple of breaths here. And then relax, stack your hands and rest your forehead onto your hands. Next, let's stretch out our arms by the sides of our ears. And on the inhale, we'll lift the right leg and the left arm. And on the exhale, we'll bring them back down. Inhale, activate through the left leg, reach the right arm long. Exhale, relax. So as you lift your opposite limbs, lift your head to hover it off the floor, keeping the neck in alignment with the spine. Inhale to lift, lengthen through the spine, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, relax. Keeping the leg nice and active the whole time, reach through the fingertips and the toes. Relax, maybe stack your hands under your forehead and take a break. Next, we'll practice Balasana or Child's Pose. So when you're ready, please come into a kneeling position with the knees together, toes touching, and heels apart. Slide your hips towards your heels, extend your arms forward, or if it's more comfortable, you can stack your fists and then drop your forehead onto the fists. You may even place a block under the forehead and reach your arms by the sides of your body. Pick the variation of Child's Pose that works best for you. Breathe here, feeling that nice stretch in your back, relaxing the chest and allowing the chest and the belly to melt down towards the floor. You can choose to stay in this variation of Child's Pose for a few breaths, or if you'd like to try another variation which allows a little more opening through the hips, you can bring your knees nice and wide, keeping your toes touching. Slide your hips back towards your heels and extend your arms forward. To add a little bit of a side stretch, you can start to walk your arms all the way to your right side, keeping the spine extended and the hips towards your heels. And then allow your left hand to land on top of the right hand and relax the forehead down. Take a couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, lift the head and slowly start to walk your hands all the way towards your left side. Allow the right hand to land on top of the left this time. And then melt your chest and head down towards the ground, keeping your hips towards your heels. Take a couple of breaths here, and then when you're ready, lift the head and start to walk your hands back towards the center and then back towards your pelvis. Lift the hips, tuck your toes under, and bring your knees back together. For the next stretch, let's lie down on the back and take a moment here to breathe and relax the whole body. And then we'll bend both the knees, placing our feet on the floor. And we're going to stretch out the right leg nice and high up towards the ceiling, holding on to wherever we reach comfortably on the leg. We want to make sure we keep our elbows bent, which will allow our shoulders to relax. And every inhalation, filling up the belly and the chest. Every exhalation, maybe we stretch the leg a little closer in towards the chest. Hold the stretch on one side for a few breaths before switching over to the other side. Remember that you always have the option to use a strap, wrap it around the ball of your foot, and hold on to the strap on either side with both your hands and gently pull the leg in towards your chest using the strap. Breathe here, inhaling deeply and exhaling to allow the stretch to deepen a little bit as you pull the leg a little closer in towards the chest. Hold this for a few breaths and then release and relax. Now staying on the back, let's bend the right knee and using the left hand on the outside of the knee, slowly and gently, let's guide that knee over to our left side, coming into a supine twist. We can cactus the right arm, bending through the elbow, facing the palm up. And if our neck allows us to do so, we can look over the right shoulder. Let's take a few breaths here, relaxing through the shoulders. Noticing our inhale, noticing our exhale, and then when we're ready, we'll look up towards the ceiling and guide the knee back towards the center. And we'll switch over to the other side. So let's bend the left knee, using the right hand outside the left knee. Let's guide it all the way over to our right side. Cactus the left arm, palm facing up. Relax through the shoulders. And maybe we turn our head to look over the left shoulder. We'll hold the stretch here for a few breaths, noticing our breath as we hold. And then gently and slowly, without any rush, we'll start by looking up towards the ceiling. And then we'll bring back the knee towards the center and relax. The next stretch we will practice is a seated forward fold. So please join me in a seated position with your legs stretched forward. Extend your spine on the inhale, and then as you exhale, reach the chest forward, drawing the belly button in. It is absolutely fine to keep the legs bent. You want to keep your feet flexed, and if your hands don't reach your feet, use a strap as shown in the video around the balls of your feet, making sure your shoulders are away from the ears, bending the elbows, and thinking of really lengthening through the spine as you inhale, and then reaching the chest forward as you exhale. You want to try to get your belly to rest on top of your thighs in this stretch. Again, remember that you can bend your knees as much as you need to, making sure your spine stays nice and long throughout the stretch. After a few breaths here, inhale to lengthen the spine and then slowly release. Let us now practice the butterfly posture. With the soles of our feet together, we'll draw the heels as close as we can to our pelvis and then allow the knees to drop over to the sides. We'll wrap our hands around our toes and then inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to soften through the hips. An option here is to place a block under the sitting bones to create a bit of elevation. And then bring the soles of our feet to meet and allow the knees to drop to the sides. Every inhalation, we want to lengthen through the spine, and every exhalation, we want to soften through the hips and allow the knees to drop to the sides. Let's hold this posture for a few breaths, and when we're ready to release, we'll use our hands to guide the knees back together. The next posture is a seated posture where our knees are together, our toes meet, and the heels are slightly apart. We're going to gently and slowly bring our buttocks towards the heels and sit in this posture for a few breaths. Allow your hands to rest on top of your thighs and hold this posture for a few breaths. Just watching your inhale and watching your exhale as you breathe normally. If sitting on top of the heels is not a very comfortable option for you, you can separate your feet a little wider, keep a block on your mat, and then sit on top of the block instead of sitting on your heels. Pick the variation that works best for you and then hold it there for a few breaths. We will now practice a wonderful posture to relax the whole body and the nervous system. We'll start by lying down on the floor and then reaching our legs nice and high up towards the ceiling. We can also practice this by coming as close as we can to the wall and then resting the legs against that wall. As you hold this posture, allow your shoulders to relax, the back of your head to relax, and breathe naturally, softening your jaw, your cheeks, and all the muscles around your eyes. Giving yourself permission to be in this moment just the way you are, and completely being present with your breath in this moment. And finally, I invite you to lie down on the back and relax your entire body, allowing the weight of your body to be supported by the floor beneath you, completely relaxing through the hips, the shoulders, the neck, and just allowing the breath to flow naturally as you rest here. Relax the jaw, the cheeks, and the forehead a little more as you breathe. And just take a moment to notice the gentle and natural rise and fall of your chest and your belly as you breathe. I encourage you to stay in this resting posture for as long as it serves you. And I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me in this practice. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste.